Well, good morning and welcome to Bedhead Chat with Chad. No, I will not be quiet. I will not go speechless. You will not shut this guy up. Uh, Today is he got nothing left to say? And if you missed me yesterday, well, that's because, Dr. Fraud, I think, slipped me some sleeping pills just to shut me up because he didn't think that you guys could shut me up. So he thought he'd help you out. And I think it was like 10 o'clock yesterday morning, Alaska time, which would be like 2 p.m. your time, if those of you that are in Eastern Standard Time that I got up. But I'll tell you, check this out. Look at this. Look at this bedhead today. Woo! This bedhead has got to be sponsored by Just Hair in Cassopolis, Michigan, because that is my beauty shop of choice. You know, I'm an Aveda guy. I love Aveda. So if I'm traveling, that's my salon of choice. But this right here, I mean, check this out. Uh, and if you go to Just Hair, ask for Amanda. This is the quality kind of work that she does. So Amanda, ask for her because this is what you get when you go to Just Hair in Cassopolis, Michigan, and ask for Amanda. She's a great stylist. She does it all. I mean, anytime I can go to her, I mean, I fly. If I know I'm going to Michigan, even when I'm in Nome, I've probably had 4 haircuts in the year that I've been here in Michigan, waiting just to get this right here. So yeah, woo! Here we go back. So, the topics today are nothing left to say because, you know, I've told a lot of stories and people wonder, man, do you still have anything left to say? I mean, you've got story after story after story. And you know what the thing is? Sometimes it feels like I may have nothing left to say, but the more words you guys throw at me, the more stories I come up with. It's crazy. And here's the thing, you guys got stories too. I mean, I made stories even last night. I could tell you stories about what I did yesterday. I might get in trouble for telling the story just because I broke the rules. I've been selling everything off, and I need you guys to start throwing some words out here to just trigger this old brain of mine. Just start typing some words. Hey Rita, hello. I could tell stories about hello, but you know we're under stay at home orders, and I have been selling, you know, as we're moving in. Actually, 2 weeks from today, I just realized this morning as I woke up, 2 weeks from today, we fly out of Nome, which is a happy, sad thing. I mean, we're sad that we're leaving, but we're happy because we're actually, you know, moving on to the next stage of our life. Now that we know we're leaving, we're kind of one of those, we know we're leaving, so we're ready to go. And so we've had a lot of stuff. And here in Nome, now I know it's happening right now in other places because of everyone's locked in, but here in Nome, they have this thing called Nome Post on Facebook. And it's really frustrating, but it's really awesome at the same time. So, like, you have something for sale. Like, if I wanted to sell this water bottle, I take a picture of it, put it on a Nome Post, and I'd say, water bottle for sale, $35. And as soon as I would put it in, before I could even put in, as soon as I hit go, and it'd be say, I want it, sold, done. And then the person who wanted it would be like, I just missed it. And if you didn't like live on Gnome Post, if you don't live on Gnome Post, you miss out on all the good stuff. And notice I said $35. So I was posting stuff all day the last couple of days. Dana would give me stuff. I take pictures. And the way you do it on Gnome Post is you put all the pictures up, and then you take single pictures and you put them in the comments, and then you give the prices. Well, I couldn't even put the pictures in fast enough to put the prices in, and people are like, I want it, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I just was selling things faster. I couldn't keep track of it. Well, last night I was dumb enough because I sold all of my syrup bottles. I mean, we probably got, I think we had 19 bottles of coffee cappuccino syrups, all sugar-free, just for the record, all left over because we stockpile here. We go to Anchorage and we buy tons, and we also have them shipped in some sugar-free raspberry. Oh yeah. So we had all these, and I laid down in bed last night at 10 o'clock, which is later than I normally go to bed here because I get up early, remember. And I put in, somebody had canceled the order. We sold them all in one bulk. So I said, all right, $5 each or $70 for all. And I made the mistake of putting it in at 10 o'clock last night. And I ended up selling all 19 of them in the next 2 hours. Just bam, 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 bam. But it took me, I was up to like midnight or 1 o'clock making arrangements for pickups and for deliveries. But I sold 19 bottles of coffee syrup in my bed last night. So that's how crazy this is. So we've sold a lot of stuff. I'm looking for stuff like, what else can I sell? But needless to say, I was out and about. I have this mask ready to go because I got people who could be knocking at my door at any point in time. So I'm ready to go. Good morning, Jesse. Are the kids with you? So last night, as I was already out and about, we delivered dinner to a family that is moving to Fairbanks from our church. And now this is a family that we really got to know well. They have a lot of kids. So we used to cook for multitudes of people when we were youth pastors and we had our eclipse or whatever. So we cooked this big hotel pan full of food. So when we went over to the house, of course, we were doing it properly. So we were over at their house, and me being me, the house is empty, and the kids started running around. They had spilled the water from the dog on the wood floor in the kitchen. And the youngest ones, we're talking diaper age to teenagers, the youngest ones were running around the house and sliding in the spilled water. So Mama said, you could put a little more water on the floor, like they had a cup, and they wanted to spill the cup on the floor. So Mama said, it's okay. So Chad, being Chad, kind of jumped on board that. So Chad had his cup of water, and when the next little kid came by, Chad went bloop right over the head of the kid, which became fun. And then cameras came out. I'm like, okay, I've got permission. When a phone camera comes out and people start videotaping, that means, okay, this is okay. Well, needless to say, in the next 45 minutes, the kitchen became a flood zone as all the kids became soaking wet. As I was pouring water over everybody, there was probably an inch of water on the floor, and everybody was soaked, except for me for a little while. Because here's the thing, nothing has changed. This fear of coming back after Chad until mommy said, give Fire Chicken. See, now they call me Fire Chicken. Here's the thing. One of my names here is Fire Chickens. All right, kids. I'm coming after you in just a minute. And I even got the speaker hooked up while I'm cooking dinner. Dinner? What time is it there? How long did I sleep? So they call me Fire Chicken. It was a name given to me at Vacation Bible School. They were just making fake names, and they called me Fire Chicken. And to this day, I am still Fire Chicken. So they said, all right, go ahead and give Mr. Fire Chicken a hug. So all the kids came and gave me a hug. And then needless to say, Chad started to get wet. Well, Dad was outside and had no idea what was going on. So Dad is a state patrol officer with a gun and the whole works. And I said, well, you got to get your dad. And Mom said, but don't get his right side because there's a gun. Well, Dad walks in, sees what's going down, puts his gun in the closet. And the kids go up and give him a hug. And I'm sitting there at the sink with cups of water. I'm saying, kids, don't get your dad. As I'm like, don't get your dad. As I'm handing them all cups of water and keep filling them up. I said, stop. Don't do that to your dad. And needless to say, the dad is just getting soaked with water. Well, long story short, the clothes that they were wearing were the clothes that they're wearing at the airport today. So right now in my laundry is all of their clothes except for their pajamas that they're wearing right now. So there may be a knock on the door for them to come get their pajamas or their clothes so they can actually put them on this morning to fly to Fairbanks. But yeah, I still have fun. So that might have been the zit that Dana's talking about. I am not sure. So be careful. So Jesse's kids, listen up. I am your new principal. My name is Bedhead Chad. If you don't listen to your mother and do your schoolwork, I'm coming your way. Okay, listen, any of you out there that are homeschool parents, I'm Mr. B. I'm the principal now. You just warn your kids. If they don't listen to you, this right here is going to do a home visit. And believe me, I've been in enough principal's offices. I know how to play a principal. I can do the principal thing. I know all the punishments. You got it? Now don't mess with my teachers. Jesse, you let me know if you have any more problem with them. Do your math the old way, not this funky new way. Okay? The way your mama teaches you. All right. Let me know if there's any more problem. Tana, the word mud. Man, you missed it. Did you not hear my mud stories the other day? All right, I'll do another mud story. I'm wondering which story. Hey, is there a specific mud story you want me to tell, Tana? Because I already talked about the muck tours with Chad. But yeah, is that the story you wanted me to tell? We talked about that the other day. You're going to have to go back and look. But yeah, mud has always been fun in the life of there's a video you can go look on my YouTube channel, which you can go a man with two hats. It has most of these Bedhead Chats, but there's a video which Mud brought me to this. No, yeah, I already told it. But during these muck tours, what I also did, there was a day it was pouring down rain, and at our RV, they well, you missed it, but I'm going to tell a story about you right now, Tana. So it's okay. And I got video proof of it, and you guys can go watch this. I will actually tag this to the end of my video when I upload it today. So they, and if I didn't upload it, I will upload it. I've got Tana and her friends. I had them standing at the end of my RV. Yeah, all right, Jesse's kids, you got it. I'm coming your way. So they're standing at the RV, and I got Dana's in on this with me, and I'm like, okay, guys, we're gonna take a picture because they're all out playing in the rain and having a blast because we just love to play. Okay, we like to play. I'm a big kid. I had them standing at the end of the awning. Well, needless to say, the awning was a little loose, too loose for a big, like downpour type of rain. So we've got them all standing at the end of the awning, and I've got the camera going in video mode, not in picture mode. And as soon as they're at the perfect spot, it's her and I want to say Casey and a couple other people, but I digress. You guys don't know all these names. It doesn't matter. But Tana, you'll remember this. So as soon as they, all right, 1, 2, 3, and then I pushed up on the awning, and it was like Niagara Falls pouring over their head from all the water in the awning. It wasn't mud, but you know what? It was the same day we went on a muck tour, so it was close enough. So Tana, that one was for you. So you didn't miss it. It was almost. Safe trip to Fairbanks. Yeah, that's our friends. So let's see, what other words did I miss here? So it wasn't quite mud, but that was a story. See, this brain still got some stories left in it. It still has some stories left in it. I am not a millionaire. Andreas, are you dreaming again? I did trade stocks in my sleep today. Literally in my sleep, like I woke up, I did something, and I made money and I gained more stocks. Like I want to say I was sleep stock trading. It wasn't like automatic. Like I woke up pre-market, I was like, and I went like this, and I did, and it was tops, TOPS. I was like, and I bought 1,900 shares. And then I woke up again, which is about 4 o'clock my time. I was like, it's up to 30 cents. I bought it at 25. It's up to 30 cents. And I sold it. But I only sold enough to cover my costs. So then I ended up gaining a whole bunch of shares. So yeah, I'm not a millionaire yet. But crazy car problems, I'll do that one in just a minute, Rita. So I'm not a millionaire, but yeah, stock trading. So now instead of sleep talking, I'm sleep stock trading. Crazy. That could cost me money one of these days. It's down 40 cents. It's down 40%. Sell. Sleep stock trading. This is awesome. No, that could be dangerous. But I actually literally did. I woke up like, what the heck did I do? But I, honest to God, did that. Yeah. It was only a $500 value of trading, which is a lot of money if I would have screwed myself. But I bought and sold around $500 worth of stocks, literally half asleep without really paying attention. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't really know what I was doing. It was just, yeah. So that's how you don't become a millionaire. Crazy car problems. Oh, okay. So I've had a lot of car problems. A lot of car problems. One of my favorites was when I lived in Florida, I had a Dodge Intrepid. Now, you could imagine Florida gets a little warm. Well, a Dodge Intrepid has this little piece, you know, they all do, for the coolant system, where it's got the little pressure gauge where if it gets too hot, it goes, shit, you know, it's supposed to blow, and then it lets the pressure out. Well, evidently, I'm driving down the road, and it's about 100 and 105 degrees. Got the AC going, and you know, here's the thing in Florida, okay? It's hot, but it's not miserable because you go from AC to AC to AC. Okay, most people, it's just not terrible because you're just used to it because you go from one air conditioner to the next air conditioner to the next air conditioner until one of your air conditioners stops working, and then it becomes not so nice. So here I am. I'm driving home from work in a full suit because I was a businessman. I worked in suits. And then I'd go home, put my uh, shorts and a t-shirt on. I'd go outside and I'm like, ooh, it's cold outside. Dan always used to laugh at me because I'm like, oh, there's a breeze. That breeze is cold. It's 105 degrees outside. I'd be like, brrr. Not even kidding. But I'm driving home and I hear this like, boom, with this big explosion. I'm like, oh, I just lost something in my engine. Well, what it was, this little cap pressure gauge, instead of the pressure releasing, it didn't work. It blew the whole cap off. Yeah, so instead of just having this little, it's just a little valve that's supposed to go psst, kind of like a pressure cooker. Just imagine instead of the pressure, when you hit the release in the pressure cooker, letting the pressure off, the whole lid blows off. Oh, I think they call those bombs. Yeah, they make bombs out of pressure cookers. Okay, Facebook, do not cut me out because I said the word bomb. I've been cut off. I got cut off from Facebook sales for selling a tub yesterday. 3 times in a row, they flagged me for selling a green tub. Sorry, Facebook, I won't sell a green tub again, but I digress. So, yeah, this little piece, it blew up. It put a dent in the roof of my car, like a little push-up little dent. So I ended up going to get, it took me a while. I drove it home really slow. Actually, no, I had to get it towed because it was just, yeah, it was overheated, the whole works. Me being the dummy, I didn't even notice the car was overheating because I'm just like coming home, I'm rocking out, like, too dumb to realize my car was overheating. The air conditioner was working, that's all I cared. And, I remember right where it was. But, so I ended up just go getting, what's that called? I can't even remember the name of it. The JB Weld. So I just, after all this stuff, I took it to shop. They wanted to charge me like $5,000 to fix this part. So, Rita, you can be proud of me. JB Weld, I got a picture of it. I just go all the way around. And guess what? To this day, we had it. I ended up giving the car away. It was Kylie's car for a while. When it started acting up, we didn't want to have her keep driving it because it wasn't reliable. And we ended up giving it to somebody named Bob, who was a mechanic, who loved it. He used it. I don't know what he did with it. But yeah, that was just one of many crazy car problems. But I've been through transmissions. I've been through, oh yeah. We don't believe in having cars at work. No, not at all. All right, what other words you got for me? What other words you got? Oh, I remember. Rita, I got to tell you a story. Oh, man, see, I love this. So I had a friend in high school. He had this, like, VW van. It was an awesome van. And we were driving one day to the airport because he was also a pilot. And we were driving down 12th Street. And I'm not even kidding. This is in Niles. We're driving and we hear the tung, 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 boom. We drove off of his axle. The back axle just literally drove right. It was gone. We drove off of it. It stayed back and we drove off of it. It's like, what happened? I mean, we literally just kept driving and the axle decided to stay behind us. I've seen that twice in my life. Another person I saw do that, his name was Cece from Dowagiac. It happened right in front of Shellmart. I've never seen that. I used to work with the guy, Cece, otherwise known as Seaman. That's what his nickname was. You guys probably know Cece, some of you. Jason, welcome to the show. So, yeah, I've seen some really weird, crazy things happen with cars. Volkswagen Life, yes. So 2 cars in my life I've seen the axles fall off. I had in my truck, I was hauling my 30-something foot, 36-foot enclosed car hauler fully loaded, and my gas tank fell off. Yeah, out in the country. And worst thing, it was on an S curve where you couldn't see me coming. So we got a couple people with us because we were hauling stuff. We were actually helping somebody move. And my gas tank, only one side of it, so it's also this, and the gas tank back end, the straps broke. So what I ended up doing, because it's a V10, I still have the truck. It's a V10, it's a beast, and I used it for hauling, so I had all the tow straps. So I ended up taking my giant tow straps and I wrapped it around the truck. I had to do it through the doors because of where it was, through the back doors, because it was the old school back opening four door. And like not quite full 4-door, and yeah, ratchets. But these were the beast ones. I haul trailers and the horse, and I wrapped it around and I just cranked that baby up, and I lifted my gas tank up that way. I left the trailer behind because I didn't want to haul the trailer, and I drove it to Steinman Shell and had him fix it for me. So yeah, my gas tank fell off. I remember once I was hauling trailers. So I used to sell and haul dump trailers. And I would have these dump trailers, like these are 8-foot by 10-foot dump trailers, and I would stack them too high. I'd have, they'd be put on a forklift and they'd be strapped down. Well, I was driving out on the freeway hauling these 2 trailers, and I hit ice, and so it fishtailed. Well, the top trailer, even though it was strapped down, these straps were tight enough that I could bend the steel. Because I had this contraption that somebody built me, one of the guys at the steel shop built me, that it would make this, I could tighten that so tight, because it was just basically a lever to put over the ratchet that it shifted, and the trailer was coming off. So I ended up MacGyvering it, and I ended up using the ratchet and the tow strap to use it to pull the trailer. Now you're talking a 4,000, 5,000 pound trailer, pulling this, using the ratchet and to pull the trailer back into place. Yeah. The straps and ratchet, they came in handy. I was like nervous. I ended up not taking that load. I let somebody else take the load just because I was like, okay, this is not my load. It's just not for me. But yeah, those have come in handy. Car problems. There's been some interesting ones. All right. What other words you got for me? We've got about 5 minutes left, and you haven't shut me up yet. You see, I keep coming up with stories. You see, this brain, just the more words you put out me, the more things that come to my memory. Anyone else want to try to stump me on a word? Because right now it's just not happening. It is just not happening. Oh, I shut you guys up, it looks like. Oh, I win. So that means I get to pick my own story. Let's see, what do I want to talk about? Oh, Jessica, guys, are you able to take all your stuff back to Indiana with you, or is this why you're selling everything? All right, here's the deal. So it's expensive to ship. Because, like, the guy that's moving in here, I just picked up stuff from his to bring into the house that he's shipping from Ohio, and like he has stuff like a tub, like one of those green, just a Sterilite type tubs. It was $90, and it was light. It felt like it was just comforters and stuff. They're $90 for him to ship that box. So like I just sold my Cuisinart food processor for $100. It would cost me $60 to ship it. I could buy a new one for $125. It's worth selling. I sold my espresso machine and my grinder for $225, but I don't have to give it up till May 6th. And I can replace it. It cost me $80 to ship it here. and it would cost me another 80 to ship it back. So I'm just going to buy a new one. So it's some things that just makes more sense because we can take 6 pieces of luggage, which is 600 pounds. Well, no, excuse me, 400 pounds worth of stuff we could take, and that'll cost us $200 on the airport. And then we're talking about $1,000 worth of shipping. So we're in $1,200 already just in shipping costs minimum. And $600, yeah, we're going to be in multiple thousands of dollars just to move the basic stuff. So that's your answer. No, we are. Yeah, it's cheaper to sell stuff that doesn't, stuff that we can get cost for here, because for people here, even used, buying at cost is cheaper by the time you think about shipping. So things that we brought here for free that they can buy at cost, even though it's used, is a good deal for a lot of people. So we're selling anything that we can at cost that we can replace, unless it has sentimental value. So there's your answer. But yes, it's expensive. So May 8th, we fly out of here. All right, Tammy has skunks. Here's a crazy thing. I used to pretend to like the smell of skunks. I remember, and this just, it's amazing how words trigger memories. You guys should try this on yourself sometime. Go through a dictionary and just start reading words and see if memories pop up. So I remember riding the bus, and this is like 3rd and 4th grade. We ran over a skunk, and everybody's like, "Oh, it smells so bad." I'm like, "Oh, that smells good," because I was, just one of those kids that had to be that way. And so from that point on, I pretended like I loved the smell of skunks until high school, because I never smelled a skunk again. Oh, there's my 2-minute warning. So until I smelled a skunk again, because one of the kids in our senior class had skunks at his house, and he would come to school even though they tried hard, but they stunk. Well, needless to say, he ended up getting asked to not come back to school. So then again, I don't deal with skunks forever. So I moved to Chicago. And when I moved to Chicago, coming from a small town, it was like, oh my gosh, you live in Chicago, it's got to be so scary. Well, the scariest night ever. Now, I was a Lyft driver in Chicago, and let me tell you, I saw some stuff. I could do a whole thing. Maybe I'll do that next week. I could tell stories. I never even thought about that. Stories just of what I experienced driving Lyft. Remind me, people, next week. Oh, I could do a whole week on just Lyft driving stories of the people and the things that I saw and met during Lyft. But people are like, oh my gosh, it's so dangerous. And one night I was coming back. It was the scariest thing that ever happened to me in Chicago. I was scared for my life. I was coming back from the Brown line, which is the train there. And we walk about a half mile to our apartment. And it's about 1 or 2 in the morning. And I'm walking, which is typically a pretty safe neighborhood. And I come up and I hear a noise. I'm like, oh gosh, what is it? And I'm scared. Like, because it's like a noise coming from where it shouldn't come from. And I'm like, what the heck is it? And I'm like, I'm almost like in a panic at this point. Like, I'm in trouble. And I look over to the right and I see it. A skunk. Oh yeah, a skunk. And I froze in my tracks. I had never been so scared in my life in Chicago. And I'm like, what do I do? No one's trained me for this. I mean, if it was a gang, I knew what to do. You just act like you belong there. If it was a person that's drunk or high, I know what to do. But this is a skunk! A skunk in Chicago! What do I do? So I stop, panic, I breathe. I Googled it really quick, and then I walked home. But it was scary. Honest to God, I was like, oh crap. If I get sprayed by this thing, I'm screwed. So I basically quietly, because the skunk was facing my direction, and it kind of did this. You know how animals are? It's like kind of here foraging, and it's got its butt up in the air with its tail up, and I'm over here. So it's like this, and it does this whole eating, then it does this turn its head and look at me thing, and I'm over here like, hi, and as soon as it puts its head down, I was like, boom! I took off running. So that was my skunk story. So I hope you're entertained by that. Now, it's time to go. So I got one thing to say. Don't make Principal Chad show up. That's it. Don't make Principal Chad show up. Well, it's been another great week with Bedhead with Chad. Yeah, I overslept. Doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing about Bedhead Chat with Chad. If I show up, I show up. If I don't, I don't. But tune in next week for lift stories. Oh my gosh, how did I miss out on all those? You want to be entertained? I will tell you some stories from lift driving. Yeah, I got plenty left to say. So, all right, have a great weekend. It's been Bedhead Chat with Chad. Don't forget, no showers, no shaving, no clean clothes needed. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great one. We're out.